Good Monday morning to all of you on the West Coast and on Mountain Time, and good afternoon to those of you on the East Coast. My name is Rachel Erickson, and I am super excited to be here today talking about the launch of the Business of Apparel podcast. We went live on Friday, and the first 3 episodes are now officially out into the world. I'm so excited that this happened. I need to have a huge shout out to Julia Hickman for helping me to get these prepped and launching all of the details. Also, a huge thank you to Julia for my beautiful flowers that she sent to me to celebrate the occasion. I just got them into some water and got them all trimmed up, and they are already making the office smell amazing. I am looking forward to really getting into this podcast over the next several months and really diving deep into some new topics. We're also going to be inviting some amazing industry experts into the room. For those of you who have already listened to the first few episodes, you've gotten the chance to meet Raquel Velez, who is a very excellent friend of mine. She and I have been working together since December of 2021. And it's just been such an honor and a pleasure to be part of her ecosystem at Alpine Parrot. I really love working with her. We're finding out that we're two peas in a pod. We're kind of the same person, but just coming from different walks of life. And so it was a great chance to get to talk to her and interview her about Alpine Parrot and her Kickstarter and everything that she's been starting for the company. If you stay tuned for this Friday coming up, the 31st, we're also going to be launching part 2 of that interview podcast. We had a hard time stopping our conversation at the 25-minute mark, so we talked for about an hour, and so you guys will get the chance to hear the rest of that this Friday. We're going to get into what Alpine Parrot is doing coming up in 2023 and just some more of her amazing details and helpful hints on how to continue on with your small business if you're wanting to follow in her footsteps. I am also going to be talking about some difficult subjects kind of coming up. I want to talk a little bit about my experience with burnout and just kind of mental health issues that led me to the decision that came up with creating Unmarked Street, why I ultimately decided to leave corporate fashion design and fashion world to start my own thing and to create what was going to make me happiest. And so that is coming up in a couple of weeks, kind of getting into that topic. And it's not really something that I'm typically sharing. So that is a topic that I hope can kind of be appreciated, that I'm sharing how that went for me, and maybe it will help someone else in kind of taking next steps as they're moving forward in their journey. I'm sure there are more than enough people out there dealing with burnout. It's part of my mission at Unmarked Street to find ways to help companies reduce that burnout and stress that teams are feeling all across the country and all across the world by simplifying processes. It doesn't have to be hard. We come into work every day and make our jobs harder than they need to be. And I when you're on the other side of it, you look back and it's hard for me to understand why anymore. I just don't, um, there's just not a lot of sense in taking these people onto your team, building a family and a community at a company, and then making them unhappy. Like, you wouldn't do that to your family. I'm gonna relate it a little bit to cooking. I heard this great quote once on a cooking show where they said, you don't cook for people who you don't love, so why rush through it and why make it hard? Like, why not just take your time and make the best food that you can because you want to serve that to the people that you love. And that's how I feel we should be proceeding into work these days. We choose to be with these people by hiring them onto our teams, or we choose to go to a company because the team that we met during interviews, maybe we click with, or we want to get to know, or we want to help. And all of that is our choice to go in and do. And then we end up in these situations where we feel like crap every day. And I don't think that that's necessary. So Unmarked Street is out into the world helping clients figure out how to simplify their product lines. Not only does that reduce stress and burnout on your team, but it also helps sales. Like at the end of the day, when you have a smaller line and your line is clearer and your customers know what to buy from you, you are able to sell better. Your revenue grows. So you have less product, you have less work to do, you have a happier team, and more money. Like, to me, this is a no brainer. And bringing in someone to help you with the SKU rationalization process so that you're actually making sense of what's in your line and understanding, should it be there or shouldn't it? Is this work we should be doing or isn't it? And then applying that to what you do every day and applying that to your team's priority list. Those are things that I think all companies need to be looking at and doing and figuring out how not to make people happy with, barbecue parties and ping pong tables. And, there's so much of this out on social media. Everybody's saying the same thing, and I sound super cliche saying it too, but it's true. We just want to come to work and feel like we're doing a good job and feel like we're serving a greater purpose, and then go home at the end of the day and feel like we accomplished, one or two things off of our to-do list that we were supposed to do that day, and we can come back tomorrow with a new to-do list, a new priority, and we slowly chip away at things, and we continue to make things better, and we are getting out good products into the world that don't just fill a hole in a line that some salesperson told you they needed. We're creating purposeful garments and purposeful apparel for people who need it in some way. And that is just my philosophy on what the apparel world needs. And so I am really excited to be moving forward with that. And I hope that this podcast, The Business of Apparel, will help to lend more and more insight to those thoughts that I have as we move forward. I wanted to go through today and also kind of check through some of our different podcast platforms to see if we had any reviews written yet. I checked Spotify and Apple just before this and I didn't see any. We were going to be raffling off a prize if anybody had left a review, but I'm just going to be super honest, I'm not the kind of person who's going to beg for it. This podcast is coming from my heart. I am really, really enjoying it. I'm having a ton of fun. We're having amazing conversations with people. I'm getting to meet new people by interviewing them. I'm getting to learn all about them, what they're doing. I'm having conversations with people that I've known for years and learning more about them in this podcast interview than I've known before. And so this is why I'm doing it. I'm doing it to get knowledge out of my head and to you so that you can know what I know. And I'm also doing it to amplify amazing people in the industry. And if we get 0 reviews and 0 likes and only one person ever listens to it and gains something from it, then I think that's a win for me. So thanks, Ben. Hey, Ben, how are you? You're my one viewer today. um, yeah, so Ben Girding is on and sending a little comment saying that he loved the first episode, and I really appreciate that. We are going to have Ben on in episode 6 and 7 in April, and Ben is an amazing friend of mine who has, been a part of my life, God, since 2014, I think. And I can't wait to kind of share that interview with the community and put that out there because we had so much fun having that conversation. And I'm sure we'll have Ben back on a couple different times because I keep bugging him all the time to help me with things. So this podcast will probably be another one of them. So thanks for being here, Ben. I really appreciate the support. Let's see. I'm going to check through a couple other podcast platforms. For those of you who might be interested in the process, we are uploading everything to an app called Libsyn, Libsyn. And so everything is published there, and then we can kind of just go through and check out it to see if we have any stats. So my eyes are kind of wandering, I'm just in here kind of checking that out right now. We do have a lot of great downloads, 119 downloads. Since we've only been released for a week or so, really, that's pretty damn good. Their trailer episode, since it's been out the longest, has 80, and part one of my conversation with Raquel Velez has the next most at 22. So we're super excited to have that out there. I think the interview podcasts are definitely going to be the most interesting. I'd like to think that I'm as interesting as all the people I know out in the industry, but I think it'll take some people some time to get to know me a little bit and trust that this is the place to go to learn as much as you can about apparel. So, thank you, Ben, for joining me. We should get together soon. I owe you a beer. So, we'll definitely do that soon. And I'll also get this live post kind of updated just for the rest of the community to be able to watch on their own time. And if you guys have any questions or any suggestions for podcast episodes as we're kind of rolling through, please let me know. I'm super open to what you guys would like to learn and what kind of interviews you might be interested in. I'm dedicated to mustering up the courage to invite as many people as I possibly can to the podcast so we can learn from them. And if you have a specific person that you'd like to learn from, let me know, and I'll see if that kind of prompts me to send out some brave invites. So thank you again for joining me today. Thank you for downloading and listening to the podcast. We will be around for sure for a long time. We've already got quite a few in the queue, and we're just going to keep going because it's been really fun. So have a wonderful day, and thank you. Talk soon.